The true story is told of a 6-year-old Jewish boy named Mordecai who did not like going to school. And every time his parents would take him, he would sneak out and return home. This happened over and over. And finally, his parents, exasperated, said, "We've got to check with the rabbi and see what he says." So they took Mordecai to the rabbi and explained the situation. And Mordecai, and the rabbi, without saying a word, reached down and picked up Mordecai and held him to his heart for a long time. And then he let him down. And that simple gesture resonated within Mordecai. After that, he willingly went to school. He studied, he became a great scholar, and a noted rabbi. I tell this story because it has so much to do with the meaning of the feast today, the feast of Corpus Christi, the body and blood of Christ. This feast is all about God embracing us, physically wrapping us up and putting us close to his heart, God's heart. No words needed. What words are incapable of doing, a simple gesture of a meal can accomplish. My friends, we come to the Eucharist many times tense, needy, joyless. We don't really want to hear any words. We don't want to pay attention to any words. We just want to be recognized and embraced in love. And that's what the Eucharist does. It reaches down and grabs us and helps us to realize who we really are, the beloved children of God. This heals our broken hearts. The Eucharist is more than just a private devotion. Eucharist kind of encompasses two dimensions. One, oneness itself. And oneness brought about by the giving of our lives away, as Jesus did. Firstly, is the call to oneness. Receiving the Eucharist is a public statement. It's saying that we are not just receiving the host, the body of Christ, we are receiving the whole body of Christ, the cosmic Christ. Everyone, everybody, the whole physical world. We're wanting this oneness with that. We are recalling what Jesus said, whatever you do to the least of my sisters and brothers, you do to me. That's identification. And he also in Genesis identified with the world. As he created the world, his response was seeing that all is good. It's an all-inclusive embrace. Then the second focus of the Eucharist is the sign of God's invitation to us to follow that example of self-giving love. To recognize that the Eucharist is more than just a ritual. We need to look what's behind the ritual. This giving of ourselves out of love, not holding back. We hear in the Eucharist that Jesus' body is broken, the blood is poured out. And in a sense, it's saying, I have nothing more to give. And to the extent that we hold back our love, when we try to measure everything and count everything and make sure we don't give too much of ourselves and people give more than us or whatever, then we are not experiencing the fullness of the Eucharist. One theologian said, what good is it if the bread is changed and we are not? Are we ready to become the food that we eat? That's the question. If we're not changed into more giving, more loving, more non-judgmental people, if by the Eucharist we're not being motivated to get more deeply into a practice of deep spiritual prayer and silence, so that we can really hear what God is whispering in our ear, that we are unconditionally loved, then maybe the Eucharist is not that real for us. If we're not inspired and motivated to be people of justice and peace and nonviolence, well, maybe the Eucharist is not what Christ intended it to be. My friends, on this feast of the body and blood of Christ, Corpus Christi, we are being faced with a choice of way that we see the Eucharist, the way we live the Eucharist. And the choice is ours.